3 years. That is all it takes for some of the most expensive German cars on the road to lose half their original value. You buy it new for $80,000. 36 months later, it is worth $40,000. Same leather, same badge. The 3-year mark is when leases expire, and thousands of off-lease German luxury cars flood the used market at the same time. All that supply drags prices into the ground. These are 10 German cars with the worst resale value after just 3 years. Number 10, the Volkswagen Tiguan. The Tiguan is Volkswagen's best-selling model in the United States, and one of the most common German vehicles on American roads. It competes against the Toyota RAV4, the Honda CR-V, and a dozen other compact crossovers that all hold their value significantly better. A new Tiguan starts around $33,000. Over 3 years, it depreciates roughly 35 to 40%, leaving used values in the low 20s. That translates to a loss of $11,000 to $13,000, which does not sound extreme until you compare it to the RAV4 or CR-V sitting in the same used market, retaining 65 to 70% of their value over the same period. The gap is enormous. Volkswagen servicing costs more than Japanese equivalents. The brand's reliability reputation has never fully recovered from the diesel emissions scandal, and used buyers shopping in the $30,000 range have too many proven alternatives to take a chance on a 3-year-old Tiguan. Number 9. The Audi A3. The A3 is Audi's cheapest way in, and that affordability is part of the problem. Starting around $40,000, it sits in an awkward spot where it costs more than a well-equipped Honda Accord or Mazda 3, but does not feel dramatically more premium once the new car shine fades. The 3-year resale picture reflects this. A 3-year-old A3 typically retains around 55 to 58% of its original value, meaning owners are looking at a loss of $17,000 to $18,000 in just 3 years. Under the skin, the A3 shares its platform with the Volkswagen Golf. The same MQB architecture, the same basic powertrain layout. The Audi gets better interior materials and the 4 rings on the grille. But used car buyers who do their research know exactly what they are paying for, and a lot of them would rather buy the Golf GTI for less money and skip the badge tax entirely. Number 8. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. The C-Class is the highest volume Mercedes sold in America. Walk into any dealer lot and you will find rows of them. That volume is part of what makes it a depreciation machine. Over half of all C-Class sales in the US are leases. When those leases mature at the 3-year mark, the certified pre-owned market gets swamped. A new C300 starts around $50,000. 3 years in, typical resale values sit in the low 30s, representing a loss of around $18,000 to $20,000 depending on options and mileage. The problem compounds because the C-Class competes against the BMW 3 Series and the Audi A5, both of which flood the same used market at the same time through their own lease return programs. Too many similar cars chasing too few buyers creates downward pressure that none of them can escape. Number 7. The BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe. BMW created the 4 Series to be the sportier, more stylish alternative to the 3 Series. Then they released the Gran Coupe, which is a 4-door version of the sportier alternative to the 4-door 3 Series. If that sounds confusing, that is because it is. A new 430i Gran Coupe starts around $52,000. After 3 years, it retains roughly 60% of its value, losing around $20,000. That might seem moderate in percentage terms, but the real issue is that used buyers cross-shopping in the $50,000 range have no shortage of options, and most of them choose the 3 Series or the X3 instead. The 4 Series Gran Coupe lives in a niche that BMW created for itself, and the used market punishes vehicles that occupy tight segments. First-time buyers looking at certified pre-owned stock will almost always gravitate toward the more recognizable 3 Series badge, pushing 4 Series values lower. Number 6. The Audi A5. This one surprised even the data analysts. The redesigned 2025 Audi A5 replaced both the old A4 and A5 nameplates, consolidating everything into one model line. On paper, it should be a stronger seller. In practice, the A5 now carries the distinction of being the German luxury car with the worst 3-year residual value, according to depreciation data compiled from CarEdge and industry sources. A new A5 starts around $49,700. Within 3 years, owners can expect to lose around $23,500 in value. That is nearly half the car's original sticker price, gone before the loan is even paid off. The A5 competes in the most crowded luxury segment, competing with BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, and the Genesis G70. The Genesis in particular has been stealing market share by offering similar equipment at lower prices with better warranty coverage, and every buyer who picks a Genesis over an A5 is one less person shopping for a used A5 later. Number 5, the Porsche Taycan. Porsche is the one German brand that has historically been immune to heavy depreciation. The 911 holds value like a savings account. The Macan resists depreciation better than almost anything in its class. So the Taycan hitting this list is a genuine shock. A base Taycan starts around $106,000. The Turbo S pushes past $200,000. After 3 years, Taycans are showing depreciation in the 40 to 45% range, which translates to losses of $42,000 to $90,000 depending on the model. The reason is the same one hammering every electric vehicle on the market. Rapid technology improvements make older electric vehicles feel outdated quickly. Range increases with each model year. Software updates add features that older cars may not receive. Federal incentives that apply to new electric vehicles but not used ones create a pricing imbalance that drags used values down. Number 4, the BMW X4. BMW took the X3, one of its best-selling SUVs, and gave it a sloped coupe roofline. The result is the X4, a vehicle that sacrifices rear headroom and cargo space in exchange for sportier styling. Starting at around $56,000, the X4 sits in a strange middle ground. It costs more than the X3, but offers less practicality. It looks sportier but is not actually faster in any meaningful way. After 3 years, the X4 loses roughly 45% of its value, with used examples landing in the low 30s. The issue is simple. When someone shopping for a used BMW crossover looks at a 3-year-old X3 for $32,000 and a 3-year-old X4 for $31,000 with less cargo room and the same engine, the X3 wins almost every time. The coupe crossover formula works for the high-margin X6, where style is the whole point. But at the X4's price, buyers want substance over shape. The data on this channel shows that over 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. That means you are showing up for the content, but the algorithm has no reason to show you the next video. If you have made it this far, you clearly care about making smart car buying decisions. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Number 3, the BMW i5. The i5 is BMW's electric version of the 5 Series, and it launched for the 2024 model year with high expectations. The eDrive 40 started around $68,000. The M60 Performance model pushed past $85,000. Early used market data is already painting a concerning picture. Independent depreciation modeling shows the i5 losing between 50% and 60% of its value within 3 years, which puts 3-year-old examples in the mid-30s to mid-40s, depending on trim and mileage. That means a first owner is looking at losing $34,000 or more in just 36 months. The traditional gas-powered 5 Series already depreciates roughly 40% to 45% in 3 years. The electric version does it faster because it faces every disadvantage that plagues luxury electric vehicles, including rapid tech advancement, range anxiety among used buyers, and competition from newer models with better specs that keep arriving every 12 months. Number 2, the Mercedes-AMG GT. The AMG GT is Mercedes' flagship performance car. The two-door coupe starts around $106,000 for the GT43, and the V8-powered GT63 pushes well past $160,000. The four-door sedan version adds even more to the bill, with the GT63 SE Performance reaching above $180,000. These are serious machines with AMG-tuned engines and performance credentials that rival anything from Porsche or Ferrari. None of that protects the resale value. After 3 years, AMG GT models typically lose 35 to 40% of their value. On a $160,000 GT63, that translates to $56,000 to $64,000 gone in 3 years. Flagship performance cars from any German brand suffer because the pool of buyers willing to spend six figures on a used sports car is tiny compared to the pool shopping for used SUV. And unlike a Porsche 911, which benefits from decades of collectible heritage propping up demand, the AMG GT does not yet carry that same cultural weight in the secondary market. Number 1. The BMW i7. The i7 is the most expensive car on this list, and the one that loses the most money in the shortest time. Starting at $145,000 for the xDrive 60 and pushing past $200,000 for the M70, the i7 is BMW's flagship electric sedan. Within 3 years, it is on pace to lose over $50,000 in value. Some analysts project 3-year depreciation in the 35 to 40% range, which on a car that starts at $145,000 translates to a loss of $50,000 to $58,000. To put that in perspective, the amount of money an i7 loses in depreciation alone over 3 years is enough to buy a brand new BMW X1 outright. The i7 has every piece of technology BMW can offer, from the theatre screen in the back seat to the crystal iDrive controller and the full suite of driver assistance features. Used buyers do not care. They see the 6-figure price tag on a 3-year-old electric sedan with uncertain long-term battery health, and they walk away. Meanwhile, the gas-powered 7 Series, which already depreciates aggressively, looks like a bargain by comparison. So what connects all 10 of these cars? 3 things: leasing, technology, and supply. More than half of German luxury car sales in America are leases, and when those leases end at 3 years, the used market gets flooded. Technology evolves so fast that a 3-year-old infotainment system or electric vehicle battery specification already feels like yesterday's news. And unlike Toyota or Honda, where demand for used models stays strong because of reliability reputations, German brands face a buyer base that worries about out-of-warranty maintenance costs. The smartest play has always been the same: let someone else take the 3-year hit. Buy a certified pre-owned example at half price. You get the same leather, the same badge, the same driving experience, and you keep $50,000 in your pocket. New videos drop every week. Subscribe so you do not miss them.